Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Georgio, your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, and I'm back with another wrestling pay-per-view review. And this time is for the WWE Royal Rumble 2019. And yes, it's 12 a.m. as I'm recording this. I don't know how I'm here doing this because that pay-per-view was long as hell. It was 4 hours of madness, but good kind of madness. Before I get started, I want to give a very special shout out to my friend Brittany from the awesome YouTube channel The Bean in the Rose. She was very encouraging towards me earlier today because I was, feeling kind of down and I wasn't feeling too well, and so she cheered me up. So, big shout out to Brittany. I'm grateful to have her as my friend. And also, I also had that drink, the Bang energy drink. So shout out to them. I tried the grape flavor. It tastes good, but I still prefer the Star Blast flavor of that drink. So y'all definitely check out the Bang energy drink. It's really good. Okay, now that we got that intro out of the way, so, now that we did that, let's go into the first match of this pay-per-view, which is Becky Lynch versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's title. And I'm telling you guys, this match was very hard-hitting, I really like some really good things from it in terms of the storytelling, the in-ring action, her and Becky Lynch, they really brought it to each other. One of my favorite moves was when Asuka did this cool swinging net breaker move on Becky Lynch from the apron to the outside of the ring. That one definitely looked like it left a mark, and they was just hitting each other hard as hell, they was really going at it. And I like when Becky hit that Beck Exploder suplex on Asuka, and then when they was exchanging those submission holds, that was really cool, and then it got to the point where Asuka was able to reverse, Becky Lynch's disarmor into a bridging Asuka lock. I never seen that one done before, so it was just off the charts. And a lot of people were kind of upset that Becky won, but we did not see the last of her, as you will hear and as you would have seen if you watched the Royal Rumble. You're gonna see that we did not see the last of her. But really great match. It's good that Asuka is getting, a chance to, shine with the women's title for right now, because let's face it, after a while, she's probably going to go back to where she was a year ago. So just let her have this moment, and I would like to see more women with the women's title opportunity as well. So hopefully, this year we'll see more new faces as the champion. So congratulations to Asuka on that win. The match, in my opinion, will get, I would give it an A+. I thought it was a great match. You know what? Instead of just grading it with numbers, I'm just gonna say it was a great match, or it was an okay match, or it was just bad. Those are gonna be my 3 ratings for for all the matches, and then I'm probably gonna grade the pay-per-view overall with the letter grade, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, the next match up is the SmackDown Tag Titles, and it's The Miz and Shane McMahon versus The Bar. And this one started off just very explosive. Both SmackDown matches within that first hour started off really crazy. One of my favorite moves from that match was when Shane hit the shooting star press and he got the win for Shane McMahon. That was really cool. And I just said Shane McMahon, damn. I meant The Miz, but you guys know. Anyways, I liked that match. It was really good. Shane McMahon brought it. The Miz did too. These two might make a good tag team, but you can tell at some point the Miz is gonna probably turn on Shane. They might do it like right before WrestleMania, and those two will probably have a match at WrestleMania. I can just see that happening. So yeah, that match was really good. I don't know if it was great, but it was really good, and that's saying something. you know. So now we're gonna move on to Ronda Rousey versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's title. This match, you know, uh, it was basically, you know, it's crazy because the fans was chanting, you know, Ronda Rousey can't wrestle, which I think that's kind of stupid. You know, I don't know what those fans were thinking, because Ronda Rousey can wrestle. You know, in fact, she's improved a lot this year. You know, the match with her and Sasha really was great. You know, Sasha was able to utilize, you know, some of her great in ring, you know, IQ, and she was able to work on Ronda Rousey's arm and shoulder and injure it by slinging her into that ring post, and that really gave her the opening for that matchup. You know, it was really cool, and you know, Ronda Rousey she did her thing. You know, she really did, and you really can't hate on her for it. You know, uh, cause she's one with this really cool. It's like a gut wrench powerbomb move. So yeah, you know, Ronda definitely has it, man. And but obviously, you know, there's been rumors of her possibly taking time off, but you can't believe all the rumors you hear online these days, cause a lot of people love to lie just to get views and traffic on their websites. So can't pay any attention to all of that. So yeah, this match was okay. You know, it wasn't bad. It wasn't the best match, but it was okay. They did good for what they had to do. So now we're moving on to the women's Royal Rumble match. My word, I wrote so many notes down for this, mainly key points. So I'm just gonna try to go through all of them if I can. Oh man. Okay, so basically Lacey Evans, she started out the match, and she actually lasted quite a while in this match until she got eliminated by Charlotte. So and Charlotte was looking really cool. And speaking of the women, I really like that interest that, you know, Becky Lynch has. She has a lot of confidence, you know. That's really cool. But yeah, I thought I would mention that. I forgot to mention that, you know, when I was reviewing that matchup just a little bit a while ago. But yeah, Lacey Evans, she has something. She kind of gives me this Nikki Bella kind of vibe. Not saying she's gonna be like them. I think she has a lot of talent, and there's potential there with Lacey Evans. And you know, and one of the really cool things about this pay-per-view that I liked was we saw a lot of great NXT names there, which I will be mentioning them through both of the Royal Rumble matches. But let's see. And then we had some really special moments, like when Naomi had walked the barricade to stay in the match. You know, that was really neat. You know, it kind of reminded me of what Kofi Kingston would do to stay in his Royal Rumble matches. But of course, Mandy Rose ended up costing Naomi, you know, a chance at staying in the match or whatever. And I guess to continue their feud. So then we saw Candice LeRae at number 17, and we saw you know, who was that? I guess Kairi Sane. Yeah, we saw Kairi Sane from NXT. So yeah, man, the NXT names were really big in these matches. And another interesting thing is Maria Kanellis. She had made a return, you know, to the in-ring at number 16. You know, and there's been a lot of stories about, you know, whether her and Mike Kanellis re-signed with the company or whatever. Thing is, we didn't see Mike Kanellis in the men's Royal Rumble, so his role in the company is kind of in the air right now. But at least it confirmed that Maria is still with the company, and because she was in the ring, but she really didn't do too much of anything special, you know. So then they had Alicia Fox in that ring acting like a fool. You know, her character's a joke. Um, but you know, they gotta have those comedy spots in these matches just because these matches are long. So you gotta have some humor in there. Then we saw this really cool wrestler I never heard of before. Her name is Casey Cat. She entered at number 19, and she's very athletic. She's shown a lot of promise, and they even said that she was on the American Ninja Warrior, so that's really cool. And Selena Vega, she was really impressive in the match, and Ruby Riott, she had help from the Riot Squad during the match, and so she had a lot of advantages there. And then Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley from the NXT UK brand, it was really cool to see them. I really like what Rhea Ripley brings to the table in terms of a female wrestler. She's a real badass, and that woman is going to be a huge star. She's already is, in my opinion, in NXT. I just think seeing her at the Royal Rumble was a good look. But I still think she needs something extra just to captivate the fans even more. To get that big time reaction like what, Sasha Banks will get when she comes out to the ring. So let's see. We have and another really funny spot was, Selena Vega. She was trying to hide under the ring, and then we saw Hornswoggle make an appearance, and he was over there looking at her, and so which made Selena Vega get back into the ring, and that was really funny. And then that was really cool. But Rhea Ripley had ended up eliminating Selena Vega, and then Alexa Bliss made her return tonight at number 26. And Bailey entered at number 27, and she eliminated Rhea Ripley and Ruby Riott. So Bailey looked pretty good in this match. Lana, she entered at 28, but she had a bad leg. I guess from earlier on the pre-show, Rusev had a match with Nakamura. I guess she somehow hurted herself. But you know what? It's funny because they used that as a reason or a chance to get Becky Lynch back into the match. I mean, to get her in the Royal Rumble. And I have some people saying that, Asuka cheated or something to win against Becky, but I don't. Maybe you guys can clarify that for me because I missed that part. But yes, Becky Lynch got back into got into the Royal Rumble match, and that was a really the crowd really popped for that. And Bailey and Carmella, they had eliminated Alexa Bliss, and then a couple of fans were booing those two, because Carmella, she and R-Truth won the mixed match challenge, so they both get a chance in their Royal Rumbles at number 30. So that was kind of interesting. And Amber Moon, she was in there, and she stayed in the match for an hour, so that was really cool. She had an impressive showing. As of what they're gonna do with Amber Moon, I don't know right now. I don't think she's gonna go far on that Raw women's roster. I think Amber Moon should be on SmackDown because she'll have a better chance over there to win the women's title. And Charlotte, she was doing pretty good in the match, and her and Becky, they try to fight off, Nia Jax or whatever. But, yeah, Nia Jax, she came in like a force. That was something else. But they somehow managed to get Nia outside of the ring. And guess what? This was not the last time we saw Nia, because she definitely made her appearance in the men's Royal Rumble later on, which I'm going to talk about in just a good minute. But yeah, so it was Charlotte and Becky, and what happened was Nia Jax had pushed Becky Lynch's knee into the ring stuff when she was trying to get back into the ring, and so Charlotte worked on that. But then somehow, Charlotte, she tried to go for a big boot, but Becky Lynch countered it and ended up clotheslining her outside the ring. So Becky won the Royal Rumble, and the fans really erupted in the crowd. Now the thing is, somebody I know brought up an interesting fact of, Lana couldn't compete, so they let Becky Lynch take her spot. So I wonder if they're gonna try to twist this around and take Becky Lynch's Royal Rumble win from her. I guess only time will tell. Hopefully they don't do that, but I guarantee we're gonna see Becky Lynch in a big spot at WrestleMania. Phew. Now that we got that, the women's Royal Rumble out of the way, now we're gonna go to AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. You know, this match had a slow start, but every move meant something, and you could tell that this was leading to something. You know, guys definitely was hitting each other hard as fuck, man. They was going in. You know, Bryan severely punished AJ Styles' arm and shoulder on the ring post. You know, the new Daniel Bryan, he's very vicious. You know, he definitely has a mean streak to him. And he even caused AJ Styles' nose to bleed. And, you know, one of the really dope spots of this match was when AJ Styles did this reverse DDT on the outside from the ring barricade on the Daniel Bryan or whatever. That was really neat, you know. That, you know, well, of course, you know, Daniel Bryan being the resilient, sneaky, you know, badass that he is right now, he was able to get back to attacking AJ Styles' arm, but then with the label lock, and then of course AJ countered to the calf crusher, and then out of nowhere we saw Eric Rowan walking to the ring, which we was like, what is he doing out there? Because he's supposed to be with Luke Harper, but I think one of them was injured. So Eric Rowan made his return, and he ended up helping Daniel Bryan by choke slamming AJ Styles, causing Daniel Bryan to get the victory. So, and some people are gonna complain about it, but you know what? Eric Rowan wasn't really doing anything, you know, for a while now. So I think this will be a good spot for him, and I'm curious to see where they go with this. I think it's because one of them, either him or either Luke Harper, is injured. So it's something for him to do for right now. And then a really funny thing happened during, you know, the when they went to like the little commercials, is WWE is holding a halftime heat show next Sunday during the halftime of the Super Bowl. I cannot believe that. You know, they was throwing some massive shade at the NFL. I guess, you know, they're salty because they probably can't compete with the NFL's drawing numbers, you know, whenever they have football games and stuff. So they trying to attempt to steal some of the Super Bowl fans during the halftime show. Man, that's funny, you know. And you know what? I highly doubt that people are still gonna turn the channel, because most people gonna be drinking anyway during the halftime show. I don't even think they're gonna be paying attention to anything. So, and another thing is, you know, Super Bowl has all these really cool commercials, so people are gonna be looking forward to seeing those commercials. So, nice try though by WWE. I mean, honestly, I don't even watch the Super Bowl, so I might watch the halftime heat show just to review it on the channel. But I thought that was really funny what they're trying to do, and that wasn't the only time WWE threw some shade, because earlier, well, Friday, I think they made a little Royal Rumble post on Twitter, and they was throwing some shots at All Elite Wrestling, saying that the Royal Rumble is gonna be elite. So I was like, man, they think they're funny with this. But yeah, this is probably the only way WWE can compete with the NFL these days, is probably during the halftime show, because they got Maroon 5 during the halftime show. And ain't nobody really gonna tune in for that, I don't think. Who knows? But yeah, that's what happened there. But let's now get into the Universal Championship match, which is Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor. And I really like the little graphic little thing that they showed when Brock Lesnar came out. And an interesting thing that I just thought about with Brock Lesnar matches, it kind of reminds me of how the UFC fighters have their schedule, well, where they'll have a fight every few months. And I think that's how WWE likes to book Brock. Like he's, you know, like how the MMA fighters are booked, you know. And so I think in a way that makes it pretty cool. And you know, the great thing about this match with him and Finn Balor, it literally seemed like a fight. And Finn Balor, he really put Brock through some hell. He had him weakened when he threw him into that exposed hard edge of the announcer's table, and that pretty much weakened Lesnar, even though he was still able to do a couple of those suplexes. But Finn Balor, he started off that match really strong and just beating the crap out of Lesnar, and I really liked that. I liked how Finn Balor was booked in this match. They did a good job with it, even though Lesnar, he was mad because Finn nearly destroyed him or nearly beat him for his championship. So of course he gonna attack him after the match is over by hitting him with multiple suplexes and F5s, because it was really interesting how Lesnar won. Is like Finn Balor, he was able to hit the coup de grace, which is like this double stomp from the top rope. And so what happened was Lesnar was able to counter that into a Kimura lock, and he won that way. And you know what? In a UFC fight, that's like if you have somebody on the ground, you can easily turn it around and put them in a submission hold to make them tap out. So that was just, Brock tapping into his MMA background or his amateur wrestling background. So I had no problem with him winning that way. That was cool. But of course, they had Brock, be a sore sport or a sore loser at the end by having him destroy Finn Balor even more. So that was a really good match. It really was. I really enjoyed that match. Have no complaints there. Hope we'll see what they do with Finn Balor going forward. I'll admit, I do not like the smiley Finn Balor character. I just don't. I just wish he would be a little bit more serious when he comes to the ring. That's why a lot of people miss the Demon King character. He was so cool. The entrance, and I know it's kind of he still does the same kind of moves, but it's just the way that character feels when he comes to the ring. And I think a lot of people miss that. But hopefully the Finn Balor we saw during this match tonight, we will see him more often, and he'll be less smiling and more badass, more serious. That's what we want from him. So now we're finally at the last match of this pay-per-view, and it's the men's Royal Rumble match, and we had JBL and Jerry the King Lawler doing the commentary, and it's really funny and cool how this match started off, because it had Elias entering at number 1 and it had Jeff Jarrett entering at number 2. Jeff Jarrett, I was not expecting that, and it was really cool. A nice little throwback moment there. And Elias teased the idea of him and Jeff Jarrett singing together, only for Elias to double cross him and with a punch. And then Jeff Jarrett, he tried to fight back and hold his own, but Elias ended up hitting him with the guitar and eliminating him. And another interesting thing about this Royal Rumble is even people who had matches earlier or from NXT Takeover, the previous night, they all had a chance to be in the Royal Rumble. But I guess because if it was just main roster guys, they probably wouldn't have had enough people. So it made sense to have NXT people. It was actually pretty cool to see them mix it up with some of the main roster guys. And I know WWE's got this Worlds Collide pay-per-view, or this network event, should I say, coming on next Saturday. So actually, I would love to see them have a pay-per-view where they have like well-known NXT stars face off against, well-known main roster WWE superstars. Kind of like an all-star game type of event that they could have. Like instead of like one of these other pay-per-views, they can easily do something like that. But that's just my opinion. Okay, so back to this match. We saw Nakamura, he come out there, and then Elias, he did an old school like what the Undertaker would do, except he walked all the way across the ropes instead of just midway, and he hit that on Kurt Angle, and then Kurt Angle, of course, he was out there, really kicking butt. It was really nice to, see him. Okay, so and I also liked that Seth Rollins, he had a real cool ring colors to his ring gear. He had like the Chicago Bears color scheme. I like how a lot of wrestlers had like the Phoenix Suns team colors on their ring attire. That was really cool. That's I liked how they did that. And we saw Johnny Gargano, the new NXT North American champion. We saw him, and he did pretty good. And then Samoa Joe, he made his big impact in the match where he threw his towel at Big E, and he just beats up everybody, man. He's just such a badass, man. I hate that Samoa Joe didn't get that big time title run that I feel like he should have had. And I don't know if WWE has that much faith in him, but that guy, he's loved by the fans, and it sucks that he doesn't get that chance. Maybe if he was on Raw, but at this point, I don't know. We'll have to see. Going forward, Titus O'Neil, he entered at number 11, and this time he didn't fall like he did at the Greatest Royal Rumble, but he got eliminated by Kurt Hawkins. That was funny. And then a really cool thing that Kofi Kingston did in this match was he used his legs to roll on the edge of the ring apron to stay into the match after he almost got eliminated. And Xavier Woods ended up trying to help him stay in the match. It was really funny. And then Mustafa Ali, he came into the match. He had a pretty good impact. He stayed in there for a good while. He was attacking Samoa Joe. And really funny thing he did was he was taunting Shinsuke Nakamura, and he hit him with this really awesome drop kick to eliminate him. And then we saw Dean Ambrose eliminate Johnny Gargano, who actually had a good, decent time. I think he was in there for like 20 some minutes or so. So that was cool. And then No Way Jose with his goofy looking ass, he came out there and dancing and stuff like he's always doing, and he immediately gets eliminated by Samoa Joe, which the fans just was cheering like crazy for Joe. And then No Way Jose just goes back to jumping and dancing. It was really weird. But then it got real serious when Drew McIntyre entered at number 16, and he just enters with such force. He Claymore kicked everyone in that ring. He spared no prisoners there. And we even saw Pete Dunne. He was trying to use his little signature banger breaking moves that he loves to do. And, he hit this quick suplex on Mustafa Ali that was really neat. And I like the way Pete Dunne wrestles. He's old school in a way. The guy has something, he's really good. And then Andrade came in there, and we saw even Aleister Black. He was in the Royal Rumble, which was cool. That match had such great star power. I said Starfire, but it had great star power. And he did one of the coolest eliminations where he hit Dean Ambrose with the back Black Mass kick and eliminated him. And then we saw Shelton Benjamin. We haven't seen Shelton Benjamin in a long time. I hate that, he hasn't been utilized at all pretty much. He's just there, I think, collecting the check or putting some of the younger guys over. And so I don't know what they're going to do with him. But we even saw Jeff Hardy. He had a great impact as well in this match. He entered at 24, and he hit the whisper in the wind on everyone. And then we saw Rey Mysterio. He was in at number 25, and he and Andrade, they fought it out. And these two been having some really cool matches on SmackDown. And they had this vicious falling out there, and then Andrade hit him with this sit-down powerbomb in the corner of the ring, which looks like that really hurt. And then we saw the almighty Bobby Lashley enter at number 26, which was kind of, I had to say it right. I had to say the whole thing because I think Leo Rush would have a fit if I didn't. But he got eliminated fast. Lashley got eliminated fast by Seth Rollins, but he ended up making Seth Rollins pay for it by slamming him through an announcer's table, which we didn't see the last of Seth Rollins, as you all know. And then we saw Braun Strowman enter at number 27, which he was replacing John Cena at the time, because there was the rumors they said John Cena got hurt by Drew McIntyre, which we all kind of know that's not the case. But Braun was out there, and we saw Dolph Ziggler. He entered at number 28. And because there was a lot of rumors about him saying he was on a hiatus from the WWE. And you know what? These people that be interviewing guys like Dolph Ziggler, them, they should know better that these guys are not going to say what's really going to go on, because they would get in trouble with the WWE. The only way you can believe any of these rumors is unless you see the rosters on TV and stuff. But yeah, so we saw Ziggler, we saw Randy Orton at 29, and Braun and Mustafa Ali and Andrade and Mysterio. They did this really massive powerbomb suplex combo, and it was really crazy. And then they threw Braun into the ring post. And then here comes one of the most craziest spots of the men's Royal Rumble match. We saw Nia Jax enter, and she took R-Truth's place, which he was number 30, because as I said before, he won the Mixed Match Challenge. And so Nia came out there and attacked R-Truth, and she made her way into the ring, started beating up everyone. I was like, man, that's crazy. I guess they had to copy what they did with Becky Lynch earlier. That was crazy, seeing Nia. But at the same time, they did it with China. Beth Phoenix was also in the men's Royal Rumble before, and I think Karma. I don't know if y'all remember her. I think she made an appearance in the men's Royal Rumble, but I could be wrong about that. Uh, but anyways, Nia, eventually she got super kicked by Dolph Ziggler, which was crazy, because how WWE is, they don't like the men hitting the women, because back in the Attitude Era, we saw if like a woman did something crazy to a wrestler, she'd get thrown to a table or choke slammed by the Undertaker or Kane or something like that. So Dolph Ziggler super kicks Nia, Rey Mysterio hits the 619, and then Randy Orton hits the RKO. That was so sick right there. And rightfully so, because, Nia kind of deserved that. But yeah, the fans were just so happy, man. Randy Orton's such a badass. I mean, that's just the way it is. So Rey Mysterio had eliminated Nia Jax. And then Randy Orton RKO'd Rey Mysterio and Andrade, I think. But then somehow Andrade, he eliminates Orton. But Braun is still in the ring, and of course the reason he was still in the match is because he was just laying on the outside the ring, kind of like what Seth Rollins was doing. But him and Seth somehow made their way back into the match, and Braun eliminated Andrade and Ziggler. And then the coolest thing about how this all ended was Rollins, he tries to super kick Braun outside the ring, but Braun counters with a choke slam to keep himself in the match. And then what I think Braun messed up was he tried to do his little power slam finishing move on Rollins to the outside of the ring, but Rollins ended up countering, and he threw Braun into that ring post, and then he was able to hit the curve stomp to Braun on the on the ring apron to win the Royal Rumble. So yeah, that was really neat right there. And there it is, you guys, the men's Royal Rumble in a nutshell. And honestly, I don't know how I was able to get that 4-hour freaking pay-per-view. It's 30 minutes, and I'm pretty sure some people are gonna have longer reviews than this, but I was trying to make it as short as I possibly could, but there was so much to cover, and my notes are like literally 2 or 3 pages long. So But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this Royal Rumble 2019 review. If you haven't check out the NXT Takeover Phoenix review that I put it up the other night. I'm gonna take a break. These pay reviews definitely they take a lot out, especially when they have NXT pay per view the night before the big main roster pay per view. There probably won't be no Beyond Wrestling episode this week. We will see. I'm gonna take a little break, and I will be back with something though. Just make sure you guys have the notification bell. I'm gonna be bringing a lot more wrestling content to this channel, as I said in the Takeover review. Until some games that like Mortal Kombat and stuff come out. So y'all, thanks for hanging in there with me. Be safe. Have a blessed day. Don't let no one steal your vibe and try to ruin your day, because it's not worth it. Be strong and be monster, as my friend King Riches likes to say. But until next time, you all take care, and I'll see you in the comment section.